Welcome, Andreas Kloppmann. This time on this YouTube channel, The World of Vintage Guitars.
Hi, folks.
Yeah, actually we go back 30 years probably.
My son is 31, so it must be more than 30 years. Yeah,
we are getting old.
Yeah,
but
I guess it goes back to kind of end of the 80s or so.
Probably early 90s,
88, 89 or something like that. Yeah.
Since that time, Andreas has been my pickup guru and became even more. I mean,
you say pickup guru.
Yeah.
We had the discussion. He is the guy who's calling himself. No, I'm not calling myself the pickup guru.
I call
others
you.
do. Only others do.
Yeah, and it's fair. And I tell you why. Because it all started with this guitar, which is my 61 Strat, and I wanted a reverse wound pickup of a 66 Fender pickup. So the challenge was to get exactly that pickup but reverse wound, and there were beautiful other pickups, but they didn't sound like my reference.
Yeah.
And this gentleman was the first.
Yeah, and I had the benefits of your 10 pickups box. You had a wooden box with 10 old Strat pickups, and we tried to separate certain things about pickups. Where's the attack? Where's the bottom? And how much treble here and there? And then we started to write these frequency
curves.
Response. And we put up files, and then we decided to replicate the 66. That was the story.
Yeah, that was the story. And then finally, you made a Blug Z1, and then after a while a Blug Z2. And your list of artists have been growing with Peter Weihe.
Peter Weihe is, in fact, Peter Weihe was my first artist because we are working together for
even
ages.
longer.
Even longer, yes.
Yeah. When we come together, we always spend a lot of time talking tone and maybe vintage instruments.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting part on this channel, The World of Vintage Guitars, that, for instance, my Les Paul, this gold top here,
hi fella,
is a 68, I guess.
That
was recommended me by this gentleman, Peter Weihe. Like Peter said, Thomas, you have to buy this Les Paul. You need a proper Les Paul. Buy this one. It's not too expensive. Just do it. Don't ask. Do it. And
it was 2005, I guess, or 6.
So, and this guitar is not in tune. But the
Thomas.
Fresh from the gig bag. And since we know each other so well, I challenge you with things like, can we get a sound of a particular guitar, and then we start to investigate where the tone is coming from, like the bridge, the different
all these structures and thoughts come from vintage guitars.
Yeah,
because we both play vintage guitars
and
for ages.
Yeah,
and in the old days it was not a vintage guitar, it was just the guitar I'm using. And I have a 61 Esquire, I have a 62 Strat, I have a 65 Strat, I have a 61 ES345, and all these things. Just normal having these guitars, but now it's 30 years ago, and now these are these expensive vintage guitars because they have some substance to it that's hard to replace.
Yeah, and that's, I think we bought those guitars because they sounded the best back in the days.
Yeah.
No, I was not into the crackle finish or anything.
No,
in those days, people played synthesizers and had yellow Ibanez guitars, and the crackle finish on a Tobacco Sunburst guitar was something for old farts, and we were younger. So it was not bad, but it was not as hyped as it is today. And
of course,
I love the beauty of vintage guitars, nothing wrong about that. But for me, and maybe for Andreas too, the starting point was the tone. And,
of course, yes.
And it still kind of sets the benchmark. And after decades working with you, I can see the passion from your side that never stops.
Never.
Never. To dig in even deeper for the next level.
Good tone to die for.
In both directions. So I hope, the customer will die because it's so great. But, the fascination of that sonic difference, which is one of your slogans, is important, because that's emotion built into an instrument, which makes it your guitar that you can connect to easier, and that makes you play better. And that's all what matters. And this is what's the secret of you choosing your tone, and why you want to have that particular character.
A good tone should give you inspiration for the next tone. That's what I'm saying always.
Yeah. So you also have been restoring a lot of historical pickups, like
tons of.
Especially here for number one, when they had that 59 Les Paul the other day.
I do the restoring or even verification, and they send me pickups to check if they are all original, or if there's something to change. Maybe there are some internal shorts. You can get them away by massaging or heating and cooling and all these things. We take the frequency response and put that back to the point there where it belongs.
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing.
And he is gathering so much knowledge from all the guys he's working with. I mean, Peter...
40 years.
40 years of torture from the best ears in the industry.
Never stops.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm happy that Andreas is finally here. So you finally see that guy that I'm talking so much about. He really exists, and he's got his own shop in Bremen-Stur, Bremen, North Germany. And of course his website, Kloppmann Electrics.
Kloppmann Electrics,
.com. And
or if you just Google
Kloppmann,
Kloppmann pickups or something like that.
You will find him.
You will find him,
and it's always a pleasure to meet you, and it's always a pleasure to play some of your pickups, because they are simply exciting.
Thanks.
Okay, dog.
Same for me.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.